guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I really wanted to talk to you guys about my must-haves that I have an ongoing need for in my homeschooling room. I know that this varies from homeschool mom to homeschool mom, so I just wanted to share the things that I enjoy using, that I need, that I rely on, and that has a purpose in my homeschool. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So my number one thing that I must have is my Bible. This is what gets me through the day, gets me through life. It encourages me, it grounds me, it fills me with patience when I need it. When I'm struggling, I lean on it. When I'm not struggling, I lean on it. God's word is my number one must-have in my homeschool room and in my life. So I would have to say that my Bible is number one. Now, the next items I'm going to share with you guys do not have a number where they sit on my list of needs. It's just things that I reach for and that I use in my everyday homeschool life. But the next thing I want to say is definitely my planner. I love this thing. It keeps me on track. It keeps me motivated to keep pushing on through my lessons. It keeps me organized and just set for the day, for the month, for the year, you know what I mean? So my homeschool planner is definitely a must-have in my homeschool room. Since we're sharing this, another thing would be this little paper clip. Now, this is not a number on my must-have list, but it definitely holds a spot because I love having it here just so that I can grab my pencil when I need it. To do this, I'm never like, where's my pencils? Where's my pencils? Except I know they're there. Right, they're right there. I have some there. I have them everywhere. But I like to have it on my homeschool planner, on my table where I do my planning. So this little paper clip, you guys, is so cool. I love it, love it, love it. You can use it with pens. You just have to make sure that it's like a smaller barrel and it will fit. I want to share that is my must-have is my laminator. Now this thing is so beat up. It has scratches everywhere. This thing is so loved in my homeschool room. I purchased this when my daughter was in preschool and she is now in 5th grade going into 6th. So that tells you how long I've had this. And this is not something that just sits in a drawer or on a shelf and it collects dust. Like, I literally use this all the time. With my daughter for preschool, I printed out so much and laminated everything. That was for my daughter and my younger niece. And then I used this when I taught one of my nephews preschool. I laminated a bunch of things. I laminated all kinds of things for my son. And I use these for creating my own workbooks. And my planner, that cover is from my laminator. So I would say a laminator is definitely a must-have in my homeschool room. If you are the type that likes to create, or even if you are the type that likes to go on Pinterest and search Pinterest for new things, and you guys like to print out workbooks or activities and crafts and things like that, it's always great to have a laminator because it makes things kind of stand the test of time, you know what I mean? So if you have multiple kids especially, and you're starting them off in kindergarten or preschool or whenever, toddler years, you can always laminate everything, and as your family grows and you have more children, you just use it as the kids grow and you don't have to reprint a whole bunch of things. It's already at your grasp. So, and I would also say, there's a lot to talk about this laminator, you guys, but I would also say it doesn't have to be super expensive. I want to say this was like $23 when I bought it, so really cheap. Now this is a letter size. You can also get one that's longer. My sister has the longer one that's like wider, which would be cool if you were going to be using like 12 by 12 sheets. But this is more like a standard size. So just keep that in mind depending on what you guys plan on laminating. So to go along with this, I would say laminating sheets, just because there is no using a laminator if you don't have laminating sheets. So it kind of goes hand in hand with each other. But you can buy the basic like Amazon brand and it works pretty good. I think they're a little bit thinner. You can get them like different thicknesses. I think it's like 3 and 5. So 5s are really nice if you're gonna use them for like book covers, or if you're gonna use them for manipulative type things like for kindergartners. But even the 3s work, you guys, because that's what I have and I use them for my book covers. So the next thing I wanna share is my printer. Again, I like to create things. I print out a whole bunch of stuff from Pinterest. I also purchase like workbooks that are PDFs through people. I've bought things through The Good and the Beautiful and printed everything else, or I'm sorry, everything out. So definitely a printer would be on my list of must-haves. I want to say that you don't need a super expensive printer. But you know, you kind of need a decent one. Now mine is not crazy expensive. I really want one of the eco tanks, but I don't have one of those. Mine is just an HP Envy 55 or 5055. So it's an HP Envy 5055, and it's just a basic, I think, inkjet printer. It works really good. I've used it, I think going on, I think it's 4 years I've had it, and it's going strong. And I'm talking, I've printed thousands of pages on that thing. I printed so much curriculum. I've printed my planners, my sister's planners, and our planners, you guys, are super chunky. We've printed out so much from that printer, and it's just going strong. I pray it continues because, you know, printers can be pretty pricey. But kind of going along with that, I would say it does depend on the paper you're using as well, at least in my experience. So that's another thing that I have on my list of must-haves. When I do my workbooks and I do our printers, I always use the HP Premium 32-pound paper, and this makes a world of difference. The color is more vibrant. It just looks so much more crisp, and it looks like you purchased it from somewhere most of the time. I mean, at least my experience on my printer, that's what I've had. But I love this. Now I do have regular copy paper, and I use that just for regular printouts, but when I'm working on my workbooks or my planners and things like that, I love using the 32-pound paper. So I would say that that is definitely a must-have. Now the paper is a little bit more pricey than the copy paper, but you guys, I'm telling you, it makes such a ton of difference, especially if you're doing like printing on both sides of the pages. It makes your workbooks look real nice. So if you guys ever watch like my flip throughs on my own workbooks or my planners or student planners, that is all printed out on a 32-pound paper. So that's probably the difference you're seeing if you are using just a regular copy paper. That's the difference. I don't think it's really my printer. I think that's what it is. So another thing going along with the printer, I would say another must-have is my HP Instant Ink. And I wasn't quite sure what that was when I first started looking into it, but it's basically a membership that you, or a subscription that you can sign up for through HP. And what they do is it's kind of like linked to them, so they can keep track of the pages you're printing and stuff like that. So their memberships consist of each month a different amount of money that you're charged depending on how many pages you print. So basically when it is like a new school year and we're like going through the summertime and I'm looking for new curriculum and I'm printing out a bunch of PDFs or a bunch of my stuff that I'm creating, I up my membership or my subscription. So basically right now, I haven't upped it yet, but I'm going to, I think, next month. Right now I'm paying like $13.10 or something for 300 sheets. Right, that's printed. Is it 300? I'll put down here if I'm wrong, okay? I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see. I don't know the numbers exactly, but so that's what's charged to me monthly. And then I can lower it or I can up it. So say, I think it's like $19 a month for like 700 pages. I may be totally wrong, you guys, so I'll have something here so you guys can see. But what they do is they keep track of the pages that you've printed, and they'll just mail you out packages of the ink that you're running low on. So like the black or the colored, because I only have 2 ink cartridges. And then what they do is they'll send you the ink before you even run out, so you never run out. And then they send you these little mailers, and you just, when you take your old ink out, your cartridges, you just stick it in here. I usually wait until I have about 5 or 6 in here, and then I seal it up and I send it back to them because they just recycle through the cartridges. But you guys, It saves us a ton of money. You know how expensive cartridges could be for your printer, and it gives you the flexibility of being able to raise or lower. Like, you keep track of how much you want to spend a month. So like, I can up it when I know I'm going to be printing a lot, and I can lower it when I'm not printing much. And what happens is anything that you haven't printed from the previous month, it will roll over. So you'll have all those rollover pages to print off of. So you'll have enough ink sent to you or whatever mailed to you. It's so cool. You don't have to ever worry about going and getting ink. And I love it. And I honestly think it saves me money in the long run, which is also very nice. So I want to say my Instant Ink membership is a must-have now. List is my proclick. Now, again, I create a bunch of stuff. I print out a bunch of stuff. So having a binding machine that is small, compact, super easy to use. It's not complicating at all. I mean, literally, it's super easy. It gets the job done really fast. I think I paid like $100 for this. And yes, $100 is $100. Like, I hated to spend the money, but for how much I use it, it has been so worth it. One of the reasons why I really love the proclick and why I went with the proclick instead of the spiral binding machine is because you can purchase these proclick binding spines, and they actually open and close, which I love because it gives you kind of the flexibility of having a binder to where you can open it, add stuff in, or take stuff out. You can rearrange stuff. I love that. Another thing I love about these is you can reuse them. So unlike the spiral binding, once you use it, it's done. It's garbage. It's like a one-use thing. But with these, you can reuse them and reuse them. I purchased 3 or 4 boxes, all different sizes, because I got the portrait size, the landscape size, and then they come in different sizes, like the diameter of the actual spirals, so that you know which ones can fit which books depending on the pages. I hope that made sense. I was kind of all over the place with that, you guys, but I hope that made sense. So I did have to buy different sizes. Now, another thing that I really love about the proclick is you can actually use spiral binding as well, just as long as it's a 4-1 pitch. So you can use these as well as the actual proclick. And these come in handy when you have larger books, because I want to say that the binding for the proclicks, they only hold, is it like 180 or something like that pages, which isn't a whole lot, especially when you're doing a planner and it literally has everything you need in it. You need a bigger spiral. So, or a bigger binding. So that's something that I really love as well, because you can also use these if you need them, which I do. The only thing that sucks about buying these is you have to buy them in bulk, right? So if it's just one of you and you're just using one a year, it could be pricey, because I think they're like $30, $40 for the larger ones. I purchased mine from Amazon, so it is pretty pricey, but it'll literally last you a lifetime. If you are going to be using that for multiple kids, multiple books, yourself, and you're gonna get a use out of it, then you will go through that box. I've used quite a bit out of ours. I think we'll only have enough for this year, and then I'll have to buy another one, but it can be a little bit pricey. Something that I don't really like about these is that they don't hold very much. So thank goodness that we can use the spirals at a 4-1 pitch, right? So that's pretty much the only negative thing about my proclick. Like, everything else I really love. I'm gonna kind of bulk things together because this is like small stuff. But basically, I have my favorite pens and pencils. I have my mechanical pencils that I love. These work the best. These are, what are they? Papermate Clear Point. And I really love these. They write really nicely. The lead is pretty good. I just like it. I like the grip that you have. It's really nice. So I always have to have a pencil because I write in my planner. And then this pen I love, this little pen I love, and this pen I love. So this pen is a Pentel RSVP. These have been around forever. I remember loving these pens when I was in high school. And then I have this one, and this is, I forget what they're called, Friction. It's a friction clicker. They're really nice, though I did hear a few years ago when I started using these that when you have them in the heat, it can kind of make the writing disappear. So I'm kind of picky on what I use these for. I usually write my notes and stuff with this most of the time. I don't write really anything in my planner. I used to have my kids, or my daughter, write her worksheet answers and stuff with these, but when I found that out, I had her stop because we keep all of her old work put away in the garage, so I didn't want it all to like disappear. And then the last pen I'm gonna share with you guys is the Paper Mate, what are these called? Flares. So it's like a set of the pastel colors, and I just really like these. So they're all kind of different and unique in their own way, but these are my favorite, including the pencil that was on my planner. I love that pencil. My sister found these on Amazon last year. Or was that this year? I think it was last year. And the kids absolutely loved these, and I actually found these on Temu. I did a haul and shared it with you guys. The only thing is these ones don't have an eraser, but on my list next to you guys, I've shared these before. They're just the white erasers. I picked them up from Walmart, and they are the High Polymer Eraser by Pentel. You can see here, this is one that I use as well. But this is the new, what it looks like if you purchase it. So this is my favorite eraser. I wanna say it's all of our favorite erasers. And then the last thing I wanna share are bookmarks. I don't care what kind of bookmark it is, you guys, but I always have to have bookmarks. I use regular paper clips, and I just purchased some new jumbo ones from Temu. One of you guys actually recommended it or said that you guys used it, so I wanted to try them out because I always use these smaller ones. I mean, they're the large ones, but I'm talking the other ones that I purchased from Temu are jumbo. And I'm not going to use them until this coming up year because I want them to be new. I know, weird, right? Let me know if you guys are like that. But I mean, I use paper clips. I use bookmarks that I made years ago. I use the magnetic bookmarks that you can just flap over both sides of your paper. You can get these from, they have cross ones at the Dollar Tree. I mean, they have all different ones at the Dollar Tree. These I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I love them. I got them for the girls. And I mean, literally, are these from the Dollar Tree too? Yeah, these are, and they're faith-based, so I really love these ones. I always lose them though, so I'm always repurchasing them. And, oh, that isn't my last thing. I have one more thing to share with you guys. Okay, so the last thing I want to share with you guys are good old notepads. I literally have like 6 notepads going. For instance, this, I love notepads, you guys. I have to write everything down, especially so I remember things. This is my Simply Homeschool one that I do my filming with. I write all my ideas in here. I write like what I want to share with you guys, what I need to share. So that's this one. And then I have this 3 subject one that has all of my curriculum, like workbooks that I'm writing up on my own because I have to like look through the book and then write questions and stuff down. And then I have one for my better buys that I'm doing, that I write down like my ideas and what I'm gonna do reviews on and stuff like that. And here, and I don't even know, I seriously have like 3 or 4 more floating around the house. I use them for everything to write down, anything I have to write down. So I would say notebooks are must-haves in my homeschool room and my life, you guys, because I literally use notebooks for everything. I even have a planner, going back to the planners, I have a planner to do like my videos, to plan my videos for this channel and for my Better Buys channel. I'm constantly like having to write notes down so I don't forget what my plans are, because I'll think of stuff and then I forget about it, or one of you guys recommend doing something or ask for a specific video and I'm like, that sounds great, and then I write it down and then I change notepads and then I forget where I wrote that down, and I'm like, that's why I have so many notepads going, because I just write stuff down and then I forget where they're at. But they are definitely a must-have. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. Let me know if any of these items are in your must-haves in your homeschool room, and if there's anything that I did not mention or list, let me know down in the comments what you guys use, what you must have in your homeschool room, because it might just be something that I don't know I need, but I really need. You know what I'm saying? So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. But with all that being said, be safe, be blessed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.